In this short video, we're going to teach you the steps to fully assemble the Pakboats XT-16. There are three parts: the frame, the skin, and the deck. When you unpack the parts, you'll find that there's frame members, a skin, and a deck cover. To your left, you see those parts we'll use to assemble the cover and the seat. To the right, you'll see those pieces that are the frame members, and in the background, the skin. The first step is to assemble the side beams. In this video, you see me doing this on top of my kayak skin. I don't recommend doing this as a general practice. Here I'm doing it merely to protect the hardwood floors. You'll find that each section is connected by shock cords. Merely unfold them and slide each of the separate pieces together. When you have the side beams assembled, place them down side by side on the ground with the X's facing up. Those will face inside the kayak when you have it assembled. Our next step is to unfold the keel. Each of these components are also connected by shock cords. Lay the keel out separately and connect each piece one at a time. As you unfold the keel, make certain that the rubber bands are placed on the inside or the open end of the clip. When you look at the keel, you'll notice at one end, two clips face each other. This is where we'll start assembling the kayak later. Next, locate the ribs and lay them out with the widest one in the center and going narrower to the ends. With the ribs and the side beams laid out, it's time to begin assembling them. When you look at the side beams, you'll notice that there's holes on the top and the bottom inside edges of the beams. Take the widest rib, the center rib, and place the end without the black clip at what will be the top, and then insert the pin attached to the black clip into the bottom hole and snap it shut. If you look at the picture in the right-hand corner, you'll see how this looks from the outside of the frame. Once this is done, you'll continue to do the same, going in both directions until all ribs are attached. This image shows all the ribs attached to one side beam. Once at this point, attach the other side beam. Next, we'll start to assemble the keel to the rib framework. We'll start at the end of the keel that has the two clips facing each other. The bottom of each rib has a plastic saddle that fits over the keel, and the keel clip snaps over that. Begin attaching the keel with the clip that faces all of the others. Snap that over the rib and take the rubber band from the keel and put it over the top of the clip. Then reconnect the keel rod and start working down towards the other end of the boat, snapping the clips over each rib and placing the rubber band over each when that's done. Continue until all of the ribs are attached. Begin attaching the bow or stern by first locating which end of the side beam opens at the bottom and which opens at the top. Separate these pieces. Then pick up the bow piece and look at the loops. The loop that will go on the side that opened on the bottom should be facing down, and that which will go on the side that opened on the top should be facing up. Begin by sliding the loop facing down over the side beam that opened on the bottom and reattach the end of the beam, sliding the loop up and on top. This will leave the other loop right in position to slide the other end of the side beam on and attach that into its side beam piece. Once that's complete, make sure both loops are at the top as shown in this picture. The last step to install the bow or the stern is to attach it to the keel. Pick up both pieces, hold the boat against your chest to pull slightly in, and insert, sliding it until it's all the way in. Then repeat with the other side. To begin attaching the skin to the frame, lay the skin out and center the frame. We'll first take the pin that's found at either end and put it into the stern and bow piece. Push the pin down into the clip and then move the handle into its horizontal position. This image will show you how the pin fits in the clip. To help keep the handle in the horizontal position, I use a one-wrap Velcro strap, which I put around the keel, then around the handle, and pull it tight, wrapping the strap back around the keel and up the other side. Attaching the rest of the skin to the frame is done using the ropes that are found on the inside and outside of the skin. By each rib, take the inside string and clip it down over the clip. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Going back to the first side, take the string on the outside and pull it down taut and over the same clip. You'll notice that the skin comes up over the boat. Repeat the process on the other side, and then going down both sides to both the bow and stern. At the bow and stern of the boat, you'll find two sets of black straps that are used to connect the skin to the side beam. Take the male side of the black strap and feed it behind and underneath the bottom of the side beam, pulling it up and then clipping it into the female end of the buckle. Once buckled, pull the strap tight and then repeat the process with the remaining 3 buckles. It's time to start adding some rigidity to your kayak. We'll do that by inflating the top tubes on either side of the kayak using the pump that was included with the boat. Loosen the top cap and then tighten the second cap before inserting the tube inside the valve. Use the pump to inflate the cylinder. You'll find that it inflates quite quickly. Once inflated, go ahead, remove the tube, and tighten the cap to make sure no air escapes. Once done, repeat the process with the other tube on the other side of the kayak. With the skin attached, we'll begin placing the seat in your kayak. Position the seat so the inflated portion will be facing towards the front of the boat. We'll use the side clips found on either side of the seat to place over the bottoms of the side beams directly behind the middle rib. Again, we will use the side clips to place over the side beams between the X formed directly behind the middle rib of the boat. Pull the clips out from either side of the seat so that you have them spaced the appropriate distance you need to fit in the boat. Do the same with the 2 clips in the back of the seat. Once this is done, you can begin positioning the seat by putting the clip over the side beam on both sides, front and back. Now that you know you have the seat positioned correctly and the center of the seat positioned down the center of the boat, we'll take the gray straps and we'll feed them over the top of the side beam, wrap it around, and then we will clip the male buckle into the female buckle found underneath the seat. Once done, pull the strap tight. Repeat on the other side. Again, pull the strap tight. And now repeat the process with the back of the seat. Take a moment now and inflate the thigh support of your seat. You do this by loosening the orange cap on the hose and blowing into it until it's full. Don't worry about overinflating it. You'll adjust it for comfort once you're in your kayak. Once you inflate it, tighten the orange cap to keep the air in. To let air out, loosen the orange cap and the seat will go down. Put the hose away under the seat so that it doesn't get damaged as you work further. With the seat in place, it's time to make your boat even more rigid. You do that by inflating the remaining 4 cells on either side of your kayak. Loosen the outer cap, again tighten the inner cap before inserting the hose, and then inflate using the pump. Do this for each of the 4 cells. Begin assembling the deck cover by putting the straight rods inside the gray sleeves, and the bent rod we'll put in between sleeves right in front of the cockpit. Open up the sleeve, insert the straight tube, fold the cover over, and attach the Velcro. Then repeat with the straight rod on the other side. With these in place, it's time to move on to the rod that has a bend. It will be assembled so that it bends upward when the cover is put on the kayak. Start by sliding it through the metal ring in the center and putting each end in the canvas sleeve. After you put those in, you'll tighten the cover by pulling on the strap that connects the 2 sides. You don't need to over-tighten this. Turn your deck cover over and place it on top of your kayak, making certain that the Velcro does not touch along the way. Go to the bow, notice the Velcro. We will attach that to the side of the kayak, but first we need to pull that cover up and over the bow, back just a little bit to snug it before it touches the Velcro. With that done, we'll now move to the stern of the kayak. Here, we'll take hold of the deck cover and we'll pull it backwards. There's buckles and straps on either side that we'll use to snug that over the kayak. Put your leg up against the back of the boat, pull the kayak deck back, fasten the buckles, and pull the straps tight. It should be noted that you do not have to have the buckles unbuckled to do this step. Now, start at the center of one side of your kayak and attach the Velcro from the deck onto the boat. Line them up and work from center to one end. Once you have that all done, walk back to the center, pressing down on the Velcro to make certain you have a nice tight fit. Then continue down the other half of that side of the kayak. Attaching the other side of the deck is best done by putting the boat up on its side, stretching the deck so that the bottom of the Velcro matches the bottom of the Velcro. Push down on the hull in order to stretch that deck a little bit tighter. Work from the center to the back. When you have that done, go ahead and start from the center and go to the other end. The last thing to do before we put the kayak in the water is to put the cockpit together. Assemble the cockpit rim and set that aside for just a moment. Next, make certain that the shock cord is pulled out from the back of the kayak and pull the flaps up to get them a bit out of the way. Take the cockpit rim and insert it, pushing it in the back first and then pulling the front into the flap where you'll snap it. Go ahead and snap one of the sides. And now pull the cockpit rim up so that it fits into the gray area of that flap before snapping the third and final snap. The cockpit rim is now in place, but we want to make it a bit more snug. Using the shock cord from in back, pull it up and around the cockpit rim, pulling it a little tight. Then cross over on either side and pull that shock cord back and over the cockpit rim again. Congratulations, you've now assembled your Pakboats XT-16. Go take it to the water. Find yourself some great new adventures.